Good morning, everybody. I'm delighted to welcome you to our Autumn 2021 Budget Breakfast event. For those of you who have attended in the past, we would ordinarily be tucking into breakfast at this point and greeting each other face to face. Sadly, we still felt it was responsible to hold this event virtually. We have nearly 500 people on this call this morning, on this event, and with rising COVID cases locally and such a large event, meaning social distancing would be very tricky, we decided to hold this event virtually again, and we're streaming live to you this morning from Trinity Park at the Suffolk Showground here in Ipswich. Our primary concern is to keep everybody safe and well. I think I've worked out I've presented at more than 20 Scrutton Bland budget events in the 18 years I've been a partner. And every year has its own challenges. This time we're slap in the middle of half term. I've never known a budget to be in the middle of a school holiday before. I've told my fellow partners that and cancelled my holiday, and I think they're all sick of hearing me drone on about that. But like every other business, we've had members of our team who are self-isolating this week, or family members testing positive with coronavirus, which adds layers of complexity, opportunity and challenge in bringing this event live to you today. I hope you all have something to eat and drink whilst watching our presentations today, where we'll be updating you with details of the measures announced yesterday and our interpretation and insights into those changes. I don't know how many of you watched the budget yesterday, but Rishi Sunak opened his speech by announcing that the economic plan is working. If you did manage to get through the whole event, then very well done. This was Rishi's third budget as Chancellor of the Exchequer. His first budget was the 11th of March 2020, just as lockdown hit the nation and the world. It is therefore no surprise that he has been described as a high-spending emergency Chancellor racking up debts in a once-in-a-century crisis. I think we all, without exception, recognise that the past 18 months or so have been tough in many, many ways. And those in business, it has been challenging, unpredictable and stressful. We have all been looking forward with optimism that the vaccination programme and follow-up boosters will, as Sajid Javid keeps reminding us, provide a way forward to us being able to look ahead beyond COVID restrictions, to enable international travel and to return our lives back to a pre-COVID existence. We are being told that Plan B, the reintroduction of some of the COVID measures, is not necessary and that our Christmas celebrations this year will not be compromised. Let's hope that that is indeed the case. So, was the budget yesterday an opportunity for Rishi to re-establish his credentials as a fiscally conservative Chancellor? My apologies. In advance of the announcements yesterday, a good number of the plans had already been leaked. We all become aware of the increase in national insurance rates by 1.25% from April 2022, breaking the Conservative Party manifesto. But that announcement reassured the nation that the money collected from the increase would be dedicated to our health and social care funding. From April 2023, this 1.25% increase will be branded as a health and social care levy. During the past week or so, we have heard of £20 billion funding to be made available. £7 billion dedicated to the levelling up of transport links and infrastructure outside of London. £5 billion on health-related R&D initiatives. £3 billion on skills revolutions. £1.4 billion to be spent in key innovation sectors and create a new network to encourage worldwide talent to the UK. £850 million to re-energise cultural hotspots. £700 million on a fleet of new patrol boats for Britain's waters. £700 million to improve sports and youth clubs. £560 million to provide personalised maths coaching, would you believe? £500 million to create new family hubs to support families and children. And £435 million to be invested in crime prevention and the Crown Prosecution Service. In addition, there's been an announcement that the public sector pay freeze is no longer needed and that all public sector employees will get a rise next year. We've been reassured that there are positive signs that we're on the road to recovery after the havoc brought onto our public finances as a result of COVID. Furthermore, Rishi said that this week's budget and spending review sets out a plan to deliver the people's priorities, support businesses, help our recovery, ease pressures of the cost of living, and also strengthen public finances. We were told that we would create a stronger economy for the British people. Sounds simple maybe. We've also been warned of inflation hitting 5%, interest rate rises. We've had an historic low rate of 0.1% since March 2020, and the Bank of England meet to discuss a proposed rise in interest rates at their next meeting scheduled on the 4th of November. The levels of borrowing continue to be at record level. The GDP for August was just 0.4%, which is some 0.8% less than the level of pre-COVID February 2020 rates. And on top of that, as if it all wasn't enough doom and gloom, it seems James Bond has been killed off in the latest blockbuster to hit our cinemas. Let's hope I haven't ruined it for anybody who hasn't ventured to the cinema yet. If so, my apologies. On a serious note, how does the Chancellor pull all this together to form a plan? Let's take a closer look at yesterday's budget, what was announced and what it will mean for you and your business. I'm delighted to tell you about our speakers this morning. We start with Graham Doubtfire, our private client tax partner, who will be looking at personal taxation and how you will be affected, what it will mean for you, and what you can do to maximise any opportunities for tax planning. Then it's over to Matt Merchant, one of our financial planners from Scrutton Bland Financial Services Limited, looking at the financial markets during this volatile period. Then we move to Sam Stent, our advisory tax manager, who will be covering payroll taxes, property taxes, and free ports. Then it's back to me for corporate and business changes and how your business will be affected. Then to Luke Morris, our corporate finance partner, with his insights and interpretation of the economy and the cost of COVID in the short, medium and longer term. I'm afraid there's no ability to ask questions during the presentations today. With about 500 people online, this would be challenging to say the least. But at the end of our presentations, you'll be able to talk and chat with any of the speakers, as we are creating breakout rooms for you to join and then ask for more details or specific questions that you may have, or for you to gain further insight into the topics covered. The links to those breakout rooms are shown on your web page, and the rooms open after all of our presentations have finished. We'll be speaking for a little over an hour, and our presenters will be in the chat rooms through to 10 a.m. should these be of interest to you. So, without further ado, let me hand you over to Graham.